Right? Because the
Jack-
Trollocs look like evil Tumnus.
Sexy evil tongue.
From what you've seen so far, Ted, what are
I
you
fear
thinking?
this is a Captain Planet moment.
Everyone is the dragon.
Yes.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
The dragon was ourselves all along.
Clothing dude.
The Love Actually guy.
The
Right?
white
What?
love actually guy.
He's in Love Actually, yeah. That's
oh my
why
gosh, the
that's
best
why
friend.
he's the best friend. Yeah, he's the best friend of the guy who went to America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farewell, failure. America, watch out!
Oh my god. Somebody's opinion. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Just Some Bodhi's Opinion. My name is Bodhi, and we have a super special show today. And I have my friends over here, Anima and Etsy. They're usually my co-hosts for my Star Trek episodes. And there's only been one.
For now.
There will be more once, there's actual
More.
access to Star Trek episodes, Paramount Plus.
We're looking at you, Paramount Plus.
My God.
Or maybe when I start watching again and catching up.
Don't worry, I haven't been catching up either because of access issues, Paramount. Why don't you be like the Wheel of Time, Anyway, so we're going to be calling this special episode series Just Some Trekkies Opinion because these are my Trekkie co-hosts. And one day we'll probably make a theme song out of it. Cue theme song.
Oh my gosh.
You think some
Sorry.
go Ted.
You know I'm
Just
like so toned down.
Trekkies Opinion.
Yay.
Yay.
Just some Trekkies opinion.
No, that's so fun.
That could work also.
Oh no, the baby
And
woke up.
that was the intro.
Successful intro, FYI.
Okay.
So before we start anything else, I just wanted to, get a gauge for the audience. What's your fantasy pedigree? Have you read The Wheel of Time before? What's your exposure to fantasy? I see that's face.
Usual face. Anima, can you start?
Take it away,
Uh,
Anna.
My fantasy pedigree, I think, would be very pedestrian, like a little bit mass produced because I have the usual Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I did not read Wheel of Time, but I have read a lot of Neil Gaiman. More modern fantasy.
Urban fantasy.
Si Tet nag-aral.
No, I'm like Googling, like,
Dad,
what do you
stop
even say?
Googling
No, what do
what
you even
can
like?
say.
No, what does fantasy even count as? Like, I don't know. I've never thought about the genre.
I think
And
that's a good question because I'm thinking swords and magic is basically what I'm thinking when I'm saying fantasy.
and this is where my Googling comes handy, Bodhi. Stop banning me from Googling stuff. Fantasy is a genre of speculative fiction involving
Mhm.
magical elements, typically set in a fictional universe and sometimes inspired by mythology and folklore. Its roots are in oral traditions, which then become fantasy literature or drama.
I guess in my head, when I'm talking about Wheel of Time fantasy, it's more like, Lord of the Rings.
Tolkien, yeah.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. Okay, do you have a Game of Thrones exposure?
No,
So that's
no.
pure virgin in this.
Yes.
So I saw
Scenario.
I saw a few episodes of Game of Thrones, but I had a bit of, as usual, I had a bit of trouble because it looked like people didn't shower. And it looked really cold. In fact, and everyone had like dusty faces. But okay. I don't think of the genre itself because I think some people go like, we're really into sci-fi and they go deep in sci-fi, or people go like, I really like fantasy, so they go deep in fantasy. So not that type of person, I guess. But I am very obsessed with Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I read it every other year and I watch it at minimum once. So I do like a Lord of the Rings marathon for New Year's Eve every year. But also I keep it as white noise all the time. So I have all of the like extended versions, everything
too.
of Lord of the Rings. It was a bit hard for me to get in, but the moment I like watched it at home with the full extended edition, that was like 2-3 hours for each of the films. I was
Per.
like, done. I'm I am here forever. I cannot watch the cinematic release version. I have to read the books every other year. That kind of
Okay, so
thing.
you do have a deep fantasy pedigree. I mean, in my head, that's already deep.
Which is,
think-
I think,
Especially if
why
you're
when I was,
reading Lord of the Rings every year.
but I've never heard of Wheel of Time. So that's the thing. Like, I don't go like, I love this genre. Let me look at the
Oh,
other
okay.
stuff
Because
I
it's
can
very
read.
specific. It's
Yeah,
like
so like
literally Lord of the
I
Rings.
got into Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
and went deep.
That's like me with Neil Gaiman. I really like Neil Gaiman. I've read everything. Like I just got like the anniversary edition of like The Sandman and
I
everything.
like Crow Street Point.
I'm not like breadth, but I'm like depth.
Okay,
of-
okay.
of
You're deep
fantasy.
virgins. I mean,
Mhm.
no.
That's so wrong.
Wow, we
Yeah.
went like that escalated really quickly.
That's so wrong. Oh no. Oh no.
But yeah, so I mean, I'd never heard of Wheel of Time until you talked
Me
about
neither.
it.
I haven't. I started reading it when you told me when you got so excited that the show was being made,
Oh, and then yeah.
and I gave up. I did not like it.
And then all of my references now, every time I watch it, I go like, oh, it's like this thing in the Lord of the Rings.
Specific to that, book 1 of The Wheel of Time, which is a 14-book series, was literally an homage to Lord of the Rings. So there was a lot of,
Walking
Shire, river, running away, and walking. So
in towers.
Right? It's like all of these little town folk will change the course of history. Hint, hint, hobbits, where they have shoes.
So, because book 1 was like that homage to Lord of the Rings, I'm saying it properly, right?
Yes, you
Homage.
Homage.
are. It's
Homage.
homage.
So what the showrunner did was he tried to pull in a lot of like later book stuff. So like all that Aes Sedai stuff, those are later book stuff. You don't see that in book.
Oh.
And that's why-
Oh.
I mean, so to me, this is also, it feels a bit new because there's a lot of things that are happening, which is what excites me. Anyway, so
Yes.
Pedigree's done. What are your thoughts so far right now of the Wheel of Time, like as a show that I've forced you guys to watch?
I like it. I
I
like,
like it so far.
yeah. It's scratching my Game of Thrones itch until Game of Thrones starts again.
Oh, with the
The new
House of
one.
the Dragon, right?
The House of the Dragon, yeah. And so I'm very much enjoying the show, the Wheel of Time show. But I
Okay.
also love that I'm seeing actors and actresses that I know. So it's like,
Who did you recommend? So, okay. So before I ask that question, Ted, how are you feeling about the Wheel
I
of
love
Time?
it. So I mean, I know I know I was like the last one to finally watch because I finally linked up my Prime Video to my television, and then that solved a lot of things for me. Like I don't have to open my anyway. So it was nice. Like I found myself on Wednesday super pissed off when I remember the new episode only comes on Friday. I was like, what? It's 2 days to Friday, and because I also was like on Wednesday, I thought it was Friday, so I was like open, and then like, why does it still say episode 4? And in my head, I was like, oh, maybe it goes on US evening Friday, and then I'm like, no, it's only Wednesday. There's 2 more
This
days,
is hitting my fan heart. So,
which is why on
Aw.
Friday you realize, right?
yeah,
It was
like first thing in the morning,
lunch.
you're like,
Like, I was
episode
like,
5 is
guys, episode 5 is up, and I'm like, they know
Like,
that I'm planning to watch it
parang
at
girl,
lunch.
we have it's still a work day.
girl, kalma lang.
I didn't watch it at lunch, but I watched it at like 4. But yeah, so I liked it. I mean, they still look a little unshowered, which is not healthy for my OCD, but the story overrides my OCD thing. So that's a
That's power. That's
that's a
powerful.
good show.
and any characters leaping out to you guys, or who do you like the most? I guess in performance,
apart from Rosamund Pike
Rosamund Pike, who can literally be
dying. And
Dying.
You see sleeping in one episode, and you're like, that was such a powerful performance from her today.
I know,
Sleeping on
I
the
know.
grass.
I like
I love
her. I love her, but I also really like
Jawbone.
no Lan Mondragon.
Landman Dragoran.
Lan Mondragon, because I really like that actor.
Because of his butt.
No, his face and kind heart. Char. No,
His
because
kind heart.
no, because he I really liked him when he did the voice of Tadashi and Babe in Big Hero 6.
I, I don't
he
recall.
was the
I've
brother.
never.
He's the kuya in Big Hero 6. Tadashi. So hot.
I only know him from ads.
He's so cute. So
He
pretty.
did a
I've
lot of
never known
advertising.
him. I didn't know him
Oh.
before coming in, so I was like, "Wow, what the fuck!"
I was like, when I saw it was Daniel Henney, I was like, I haven't seen him in such a long time.
Isn't he like Korean shows too?
Anima. Like, I would know what's happening in the world of Korean shows.
I have like again, Disney was my reference. It's a Disney.
So he did
movie.
he used to be like a mainstay in like alcohol, like the premium alcohol watches kind of circuit.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
lots of black and white ads, and it's close up of his jawline.
Because that jawline.
Gorgeous man.
So is a
Um,
good jawline a prerequisite to be an actor?
Or to be on Wheel of Time, like for you to be leading the show, either you have good hair
Because
or good
Jawbone
jawline.
Leandrin can cut glass like her.
Leandrin, that's her
I
name.
feel it doesn't cut glass, more like it gets stuck at random spots. Like if she falls off the rock, she can hang.
Because it's crazy. It's not just sharp, but she's like a parallelogram.
But I think it's part of the intensity.
She's not
like,
even a
you know-
triangle. She's parallelogram.
She doesn't have to act, but she's intense because her features are intense.
Yes,
I want to
especially
massage
she was the cold open. She was the first scene of the
Also, she
man
needs,
hating Reds.
She needs a. But I like that they have uniforms. It's very helpful.
Would you guys appreciate book talk, or would you like to experience?
No,
the
we
show
have
as
we
is?
have questions. No, we're both like spoiler okay. I have mechanics questions.
But
But
who
you-
else do you like? I know Bodhi was asking who do you Rosamund
Yeah, of
Pike is
the kids.
intense.
How about of the kids? I mean, I call them the kids, but
I think does Naive count as a kid?
I would, yes.
She's
Bodhi
Two Rivers
100%
Two Rivers
wants
Falls.
Nynaeve to be counted because
I like Naive a lot.
What was that face, Dad?
no, because you're like obsessed. Like
I'm gonna.
I
pull
feel
it
like
back.
you go like can you
How everyone else.
can you like finish your storyline? I just want to hear what happens to her because you're like getting in the way of like her is the vibe I get. But I mean that's not bad, but it's just
I like
I mean,
her.
To be honest, so in the books, it takes a while to like her,
oh.
because she's very intense and insecure. Anyway, which I think Zoe Robbins, the actress, really shows. You can see that she's vulnerable and then powerful.
She is an intense actress. Which
she's
puts me in
really
a lot of
likable.
conflict because it's too much suspense for me. Like, what is she thinking? What is she feeling? And
Her
the
kilay
episode is
is like
already
her eyebrows are
done.
like even in the background chick in the last episode.
and the like quivering lip.
Like she was just in
it's
the
so
background because it was like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
step in.
So I wanted to
step in
talk about
guy.
that, right?
And
Because
And she's like in the background and she's like,
and then you could see that the emotion like washes over her, and then
And
it's
then
like,
Rosamund Pike
wow.
releases tears.
but then Rosamund Pike is like,
and tears,
I
very
know.
visible tears.
I would like to have a petition for Rosamund Pike to never get Botox. Like for her to like never, please never ever get Botox because her face is just too good. It's just really good. Yeah. I would get Botox. I'm not an actress. That's fine.
Since episode 5 is like the most recent to our minds,
Mhm.
what did you think of the episode?
It was I had questions. It wasn't it's an exposition episode. It was like it's a needed episode. It wasn't like a fun episode, but they always do that like in these shows. There needs to be a connector episode to
Especially
set
coming
the-
after episode 4 of
yeah,
A
which
Raging
is
Sun,
super
and then
super
bigla-
intense.
and,
Yeah.
and then suddenly, let's breathe. I think that was a
Yeah.
breathing episode.
Yeah.
And
it-
also, I
it-
think it's to set up rin, like, because the parang some, sorry. So some of them, I mean, their Aes Sedai passed away, right? So then the immediate question is, what happens? Do they get thrown honestly, I
with
thought
the
it was like,
other Aes Sedai.
do they get burned
Kill
at this
themselves
stage?
at, yeah.
Or something like, because they don't. I mean, they're a warder of no one now, right?
Mhm.
So it seems like a super functional society is what they have. Like you
But
go
then
into
there's
this
an Aes
role.
Sedai and she's got two guys who are also like with each other.
Who
And
would
then
rather have 10?
yeah, and
Did
Alana
you
would
catch
rather
that?
yeah. And I was like, because at first they were like, oh, that's cute, they're lovers. And then Alana called them and they're like, oh wait.
They're
Oh
polyamorous
wait.
couple.
Oh wait, but I was like, hey, dude, in a clearly still patriarchal society, like what Leandrin said, and this is like the only society or organization that you have power over. Like, if you can have as many hot men as you can, I'm okay with that. And one of them is Daniel Henney. Okay, why not?
You know, in the latest episode when Stephen was like praying or something, or like he was
Yeah.
being vulnerable, and then Lan was like, "I'll be with you tonight," and then I was like,
I would be cool with this.
"Yes, I was."
Oh, he's a sweet.
But apparently they were just in there for the feelings.
Aw.
And then someone in Twitter was like, "Does everyone want to sleep with Moraine?" Because Leandrin, and then there was the Alana on the bed thing, and then I was like, "Something's happened. There's a lot of sexual tension happening here."
There is, which is what I like. Okay, so one of the things that I was afraid it was at the first episode was it starts off like a lot of CW shows, which is all of these hot, uh, obviously racially diverse characters that I've never seen, like, and they're not very good actors, which is fine. It's a CW. I mean, these people are hired to be beautiful. But then Bruce Bolton was there, and like all these other characters. And then later on, Isla was there, and Ela was there, and all these other people, Rosamund Pike,
Yeah.
of course. So that was my first thing of like, oh no, I don't know, is this gonna be good? Because that redhead kid, the Hayden Christensen looking motherfucker, he was like, hey, that's too much acting with your eyebrows.
Maybe he wanted to be Tony Leung. I mean,
Maybe Tony Leung.
I did not catch that reference.
Tony
acting.
Leung, eye acting. Tony Leung in Shang-Chi,
Shang-Chi.
and also
Oh,
in
The
the
dad in
Wolf.
Shang-Chi.
I
But
mean, so
anyways,
yeah. No, I was gonna say episode 5 for me was the weakest of the bunch.
nothing much happens.
And I guess it's like a convergence episode.
Yeah, they meet up. And
It's
I
a lot
don't-
of world building. It's just a lot of setup. Yes.
I don't know. I feel episode 5 is the episode where they're trying to get you to emotionally commit to a character. Because I mean, it solicits very strong feelings, right? Like in the other episodes, there's a lot of burden of storytelling, right? Like they're moving along, they're introducing characters, etc. But in this episode, for instance, like, you know how I hated Valda, the white clothing dude,
the Love Actually guy.
The
right?
white.
But
Love that the guy.
He's in Love Actually, yeah.
oh my gosh, the
that's
best
why
friend.
he's the best friend. Yeah, he's the best friend of the guy who went to America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farewell, failure. America, watch out! Here comes Colin Frizzle. And he's got a big knob.
Oh my god.
That's
Now
why I
you
was
cannot
like,
unsee. Luckily,
I said,
he's
like-
now out of circulation.
I said, it's the Love Actually guy.
Oh my
So
god.
anyway, so if you notice, he has the longest sexist spiel in all of the episodes. So then you create like a very strong negative emotion, and then suddenly you don't care so much about Egwene and Perrin, but then you see them like suffering. So now you have to go like, okay, I care about them and like making sure they don't die. So there's this like extreme evil exposition. So now they're two good people. So now you care like, oh, they're gonna get there, yes or no. And then
And which one of them do you want to be
Yeah,
the
like,
one,
who do
right?
you-
So
yeah, and then you start going like, oh, everyone's showing powers now, like who is it gonna be? So you start like, and even like Daniel Henney gets his whole super emotional thing, and then the other Aes Sedai, the green outfit lady,
Lana.
the one who was eating in
the one
Rosamund
eating, the
The
one
one
who was
who's
eating on the
eating
bed, she had a
Persimmon.
dusty foot. So you kind of get like a bit more from her in a, okay, she's the one that Rosamund Pike trusts, not the red jaw lady.
parallelogram lady.
So you kind of see, okay, this is where the lines are drawn. These are the good people, bad people. These are the people I will support in the next
Set up.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Because It was
I
very
don't know.
strongly emotional, but
Yeah.
nothing moves drastically forward, but lots of
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah. I like that there was a lot of background work for Stepin, but I kind of felt sad that he died because I was like,
Mm.
oh yeah, okay.
And he was
yeah,
bonding with
okay.
Nynaeve. Sorry,
Oh,
my girl. Okay, sorry.
Super
I'm
nice.
gonna pull back my Nynaeve love so that I can.
But oh
But
my gosh, how funny is that ogre
he's
person?
nice. I like him.
He's so funny.
He's the ant. He's the ant of the story, I feel, because he was like, oh, you're so hasty and you're so fast. And I was like, oh, he's the ant of the story.
And he's tall. He walks
Yeah.
slowly,
Deep voice.
connecting
So
people.
you
Like,
love him?
Yeah. I like
Do
him.
you-
He's funny.
I love him.
and he talks so like
Um,
it's very formal, full sentences.
And it's in a deep voice.
Yeah, and I was like,
Oh,
I was like, oh, you're an ogre, and he's like, an ogre.
Because of course he has to be a clean, like refined, educated one, right? Running a bookstore.
Yeah, I love it.
And here's where I pile on with my book stuff. So the fans were not happy with how he looked.
Oh, is he supposed to look
because-
sexier or
Big.
taller,
taller?
and then
Okay.
he would have twitching ears. So he would.
Oh, like a Mr. Tumnus?
Yes,
I love how we use Mr. Tumnus so much. It's just right because the
Jack-
Trollocs look like evil Tumnus.
Sexy evil Mr.
So the
Tumnus.
thing with the showrunner, he was saying that he was trying to get everything practical effects wise. Like
well, you can have like little Mr.
that's
Tumnus
what
had
I was
20
thinking.
Mr.
So,
Tumnus, and what was that, 20 years ago? They got him to have twitchy ears.
Narnia been 20 years.
I think so.
ago.
Let's see. Let's look it up.
So face wise or like appearance wise, they weren't happy. But
Mhm.
once he started talking,
Everyone.
so
was
we
pleased.
felt the character. We were like,
Okay.
oh, that's him. Anyway, so who do you think the dragon is?
I cheated. So I looked ahead at who it
Excuse me.
was. I was like, who is
Are you going
who's
to
the
tell
dragon?
me
No,
No, but you can look it up.
how?
don't look it up. Wait, I want to know. So from what you've seen so far, Ted, what are
I
you?
fear
thinking?
this is a Captain Planet moment.
Everyone is the dragon.
Yes.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Captain Planet.
The dragon was ourselves all along.
No, that's a Harry Potter conclusion, Bodhi. Where it is love after all. It's
I
having
hate that
friends.
so much.
The power
Such a
of
crap
friends.
out.
Like it is the go of
No,
your
this
mother's
is-
love that's
This is
saving
a
you.
no. That's
No.
no. That's a Space Jam. It was you all along. There was no secret juice. It was just you all along.
So I want to introduce lang, this concept that the fans think of the show as, right? Because it's a wheel of time where it's a cyclical notion of time where things have happened before, things will happen again, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
how they call the show? What's that?
I googled who the dragon is.
Okay, wait, no, but this is relevant.
Okay.
So how the showrunner explains the show is that it's another turning of the wheel, meaning
Okay.
it might be
Like a reboot.
or yeah, the spine of the story might be the same, but the journey to get there might be different. So
It's like a multiverse. It's like a variant. It's like
Yes.
Loki. Yeah.
yes.
So the dragon might be different.
So in the books, it was very specific. The dragon is a man, like it's like very specific. But here, if you saw right, it immediately from the first part.
That was my question. I said, like, does the
Man or
dragon have to
woman.
be a man? Or then why are the four part of the consideration set?
And they kept
also-
explicitly saying, could be born a man or a woman in this incarnation. And you're like, I guess you want me to consider the girls in the show. Fine.
I guess.
Because
I
you
guess.
literally
That's why
keep saying it
Nynaeve
in the
is
first
dragon.
episode.
Yeah, because she's powerful and she was like, I know, she was like this a sputtering candle in a burning sun.
That's why there's a lot of like surprise for me also, like
Mhm.
going through the episodes. Like, oh, I didn't think that was gonna happen.
But
And
then-
that's why when Lan and Stephen had a moment, I was like, I'm ready for this turning of the wheel to be planned.
Well, this is my thing. So I guess before I answer the question of who I think it would be with in this turning of the wheel,
Yeah.
is how long is the series going to be? And do they
Good
plan to
question.
end, right? Because it says the season has 8 episodes, but are they gonna conclude the story in 8 episodes? Because if
No.
not, okay.
So season
Then it
2 has
can-
been greenlit already, and they're planning 8 seasons. Anyway,
8 seasons?
it's
Baka
14
mamatay na si
Anima.
Rosamund Pike.
She's not yet that
Oh
old.
my
We will find
God.
out then if she gets Botox
She
at
is
some point.
ageless. What are you saying?
She's younger than me, excuse me, sorry. She's 41. No, she's turning 41. So she's my age. So
Thanks
so
for declaring that to the audience.
I think I looked it up after Gone Girl and I was like, she's around my age. But she's so
Can you
pretty.
imagine the range her face is showing in this show versus Gone Girl?
Yes, but then in Gone Girl, she was kind of a psychopath. So
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
A very effective
Isn't she a
psychopath. I don't want.
psychopath here, guys?
I don't think so.
Is she secretly evil? So that's my other question. Like, are these people secretly evil?
Who knows in this turning of the wheel? I'm using that
Because
phrase.
I like it. I like it.
Because I want to understand, like, how is it that they
How is
seem to
this
be super
cool?
powerful, but then they kind of like go, oh, to the Whitecloaks. I'm like, who's running this?
Yeah,
Who's like
this is my thing.
dominant
Like, how is
in
it
this
cool
map?
that this guy has cut off the hands of at least, and I was counting the rings, at least 8 women
Are
who
they
live
not-
in like the biggest building in the city. So aren't they supposed to be important? And then they're like, they answer to the crown. Don't the guys in white answer to the crown? Who answers to the crown? Who is the crown? Is the seat the crown? Who
Is
is
there-
the
There is. They were saying this seat person
Amaryllis,
is back.
the Amaryllis seat? Di ba Amaryllis is a
Amaryllis seat.
flower?
Amerlin.
See, this is the thing. Like, I know the names. I don't know how to pronounce them.
Amerlin.
Like this guy,
Is
the
it?
Like,
loyal
Merlin.
Amaryllis.
No, so Rosamund Pike was like, "Oh, don't like calm down, don't like lie, don't tell him anything." And then she's like frozen in fear of this like creepy white cloak.
The guy from Love Actually.
Yeah.
Stop saying that.
And then the
It's
white
bringing
cloaks
me out of
attack
it.
the
The
Tinkers.
Tinkers.
I was like,
The,
Tinders? No.
the Rasta gypsies.
Yeah.
The Rasta
So I'm like,
gypsies.
why are they just going around beating people up? Like, are they the police on this? I'm gonna say
So they're,
map because like a
Cult?
game.
you know what?
What?
Let me-
Do you have a
let me,
graph?
I have the Wheel of Time companion.
I was gonna say, is there a
Are
Silmarillion?
you not the Wheel of Time companion though?
Is there?
Let the companion explain.
Okay,
better
Let
go.
than I
Bodhi the
would.
companion speak.
Okay.
So,
Bodhi
the
the
Children of the Light, a
We
society.
should have
of men.
background music. Wait. Don't read yet. We have to have background music.
Do I
Wait.
play?
The Children of the Light are a society of men owing allegiance to no nation and dedicated to the defeat of the Dark One and destruction of all dark friends. Yeah, that's all. I mean, they're like a pan-national
Who do they report
Sport.
to? Wow, my
the Lord
goodness.
Captain Commander.
But who does he report to? Does he report to the
Oh.
Amaryllis seat?
No. So think of the Amerlin seat like the Pope. She's the head of the Aes Sedai
Oh, she's
And
the head
the-
of the Aes Sedai.
and the city. I guess you would call her the head of
The
the city.
Mayora. And again, this is my question. Why is it cool that this guy is killing?
It's just going around, right? I mean, because I guess he's an armed force, right?
Because he was
And
saying
there's
right,
no
in
other
episode 5, like
Armed force.
he feels it's weird that women are wielding all of this power.
But I just find it weird now. There's like so revered by everyone in the neighborhood, but then when she sees them, they all of a
Revered
sudden,
and feared, I would say.
yeah, like right, like they like, are they evil? Are they good? Are they some people like the guy in the river, right? He said like,
The Whitecloaks were right.
right? He said like,
Karma.
oh, yeah. I don't get it. That's my
Yeah,
disconnect.
I don't even know if the Aes Sedai are really good people.
Moraine was basically warning Nynaeve, right? Like all of these Aes Sedai in this tower,
Don't trust
they
people.
all have their own.
So they're like
ambition.
at the
Agenda.
office.
at the office.
Right? It's workplace politics, right? Someone wants to be
Leandra's
the new
gonna take
CEO,
action.
and the problem is, Rosamund Pike could be new CEO, but she's been traveling a lot, so like she doesn't have a lot of hometown homies. But I'm kidding.
It's so well, yeah, but I like it overall. And I know like world building fantasy wise, there's not always like a lot of logic, right? Of like why is this working out for one other thing? But I think in the rush to make it exciting, I actually think there's not enough exposition, right?
Mhm.
So I think from a writer perspective, I think that somewhere from the first connect with the Whitecloaks to the
Yeah.
latest one, because I think what's her face, Maureen should have explained, or at least Lan, like when they were in that city. But when they were there, that was a great opportunity to say like, by the way, who are those guys in the white clothes? Like they think they're fighting for good. Yeah, because they're wearing white, but actually they're blah 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 blah, and they kill
I-
Aes Sedai.
To be
That wasn't.
fair, the all white outfit is what clued me in that they're probably really evil.
Mhm.
Because
For
it's
me,
like
it was the eating of the balot.
it's all like priest like
Yeah.
things and
I
like
think it was the burning of the Aes Sedai that clued me.
Well.
no, but I mean you get the vibe. Like, why are these people deep in the forest and wearing all white outfits? Like they have like a tide stick to like make sure they're clean all the time.
I was
mean,
like, Love Actually, guy, you're like a really good guy. What are you doing?
but sorry, I want to ask this.
Yes.
So Perrin had the wolf shining eyes thing, right?
Yes.
And so is he like a wolf power thingy? Like, did he get the wolf powers, or was it from the getting licked on his wounds by the wolf that he became a wolf thing?
I can't believe you connected that, because for me, I was just like I know, like a just like indication of power.
Oh, because they kept doing close-ups of his yellow eyes,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
wolves have yellow eyes, and then he did the beastly growl, and then Valda went, "What are you?" or something like that. Is this like a vampire thing where you get licked by wolves and then you get wolf powers?
So I know that you guys don't mind spoilers, but my soul does not like spoiling. No. Okay, fine. Yes.
He's a wolf.
No, he's not a wolf. But he will,
Get wolf powers.
yes. He'll be
Ooh.
in the books, he's a wolf brother. I mean that's what they call them.
I love
Um,
that name. It's like one of
I
those
like-
old timey like Riverman. Or I that did not come out well.
I like this part of the story. I guess it was also like world building. And I'm Googling Manetheren.
Yeah.
So I said, I really like that story because it reminded me of that scene in Lord of the Rings where they were in the mines of Moria
Mm.
and they were reading from the book of like
Oh.
right, and then they are coming,
Yes,
they are
yes.
coming. So I'm like, I got like goosebumps, like remembering like that's like the power of Rosamund Pike's storytelling. And I said like,
Yeah.
I
Because-
really like this part. And then and it makes him, and I don't know if I understood it correctly, like it tells them that like even if they came from like some hick town and whatever, it links that thing of that they were saying like the blood is old here, the two rivers
Yes,
and
the
blah blah.
old blood. Mm.
Yeah, the old blood runs deep or something like that. But the kids are like, yeah, we're in some hick town and blah 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 blah. No one showers. But then she tells the history of the town and like, okay, this is why this is relevant. This is why their heritage is relevant. But I really like that part, and I wish there was like more of that kind of exposition as told by Rosamund Pike.
Two things. In the X-ray thing, there are bonus episodes with some lore stuff. So there's a Manetheren thing also there.
Manetheren, that's it.
My second one is The Eye of the World, Book 1, is being re-released as audiobook with Rosamund Pike as the narrator. So
Okay,
people,
I'm getting that. I'm gonna get it. I like her.
yeah, her voice is so nice.
I'm
It's so powerful.
returning the audiobook that I got. Which
And
you
replace
can, by the way, no questions asked. Audible will let you return it.
Oh,
And then I will re-borrow it. You asked a
Um,
question pala kanina that we didn't get to answer.
Favorite character? Who
No,
is
you
the
said
dragon?
you
Who
said
do you think the dragon is in this turning of the
Yes.
wheel?
Yes. I think Nynaeve would be too obvious. I think it is Lan.
Just to throw his name in.
Yeah,
Because of his butt.
because he's hot. No, he's not in the running. No, the redhead guy. What's his name? Kristen Haydenson.
He is according to Google when I Googled, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I googled also. But I'm
but,
like, fine.
but it's also
probably
because of the
him.
insistence of all of the
Virtue.
stuff. Like the ogre was saying, for instance, like, oh, you're an ale man. And I'm like, or like the fact that he's the only one who hasn't shown anything. But
And
then
he's the only one who hasn't done anything bad.
and he's the only one
bad.
who's still clean-ish.
But didn't you see him like open the door when Dana flipped as a sleeper agent?
That's because she's hot. That's not a sin.
No, I mean he broke the door.
He broke the door. But that's not quite the
Ah.
same.
Yeah,
No,
as
cinematic
everyone else.
effects,
Everyone else
right?
had stuff already.
He seems the most virtuous of all of them. You
And
know?
the red hair is like Harry in his car. You kind of
Mhm.
know from the start. And also
The-
suddenly his dad has a secret like
Yeah, secret
sword.
weapon.
Na parang,
So they probably
is he a
found him or
protector?
something. You know, also he's really, he's Roose Bolton and he's just like really polished for the hinky dink town.
It looks like they hid him in the
Yeah,
shower.
yeah. Also, no one else
With a
has red
protector
hair there.
dad
Mhm.
with a shiny sword. And then suddenly like his very docile dad suddenly goes like ninja at the Trollocs.
I like this conversation because it just goes to show how obvious also it might be that it's Rand, the red-haired guy, because of the fact that he's not showing anything so far.
Yeah.
So good
It's
to
too
know.
obvious. That's why I asked like how much time do they have to do this exposition? I like everything Rosamund Pike does.
Anything Rosamund Pike.
Even when she told
Zoe
Daniel,
Robbins. I'm just-
when she told Daniel Henny, "You've killed us all," and I was like, "Damn you, Daniel Henny!"
I loved all the Daniel Henney Rosamund Pike ones.
I was googling
Pretty good.
is Lan Mondragon and Moraine together. I was googling that.
Do
Are
you sense that
Are
they're
they
together?
fucking? I don't know. I don't know. They seem like really good friends, but also Maureen has a lesbian vibe too. So I don't know. But they're
Because
really
they're very
close.
strong.
They're very strong and very close. And it's actually almost like siblings because the way that they're like,
That's how I feel.
ganyan ka na naman, and you always do this, and blah, blah,
It's like
blah.
Whenever
like-
you drink, I get emotional.
It's a very strong connection.
Yeah, it's very intense connection. He was so emotional
In
when
Star Wars, they
Stefan
kiss,
died.
right?
Oh, just to say, that whole Stepin funeral thing was not in the books. So everyone was
Ah.
like,
It's fan service then.
not fan service. It's the opposite of fan
No
service.
fan service for the people who are there for Daniel Henney.
Oh,
It's Daniel Henny service.
It's a fan service. Like how else will you get into it except if you see? Because it was like
You
a
see
full
Daniel
solid
Henney.
few minutes of him just beating his chest, and then he rips his shirt.
Yes.
Right when he screams the last moment that he screams, he like opens his chest.
I was like, is he gonna kiss him and then like take his soul? Wait, he's dead.
Right?
Let's
Such
not
a-
go.
I'm
with dead
still for the
people.
Stepin Land thing.
I like Stephen. He was a
I'll stay with
very
you tonight.
Stephen and the Gleeman are like so far the two most charismatic randos I've seen in this show.
So thanks guys for the really long conversation. I'm not sure how much it's gonna,
I don't know how much is usable.
Yeah, fair. That's
But
not on you,
always-
Bodhi.
always a pleasure to have my fellow Trekkies for a conversation for some Trekkies opinion. So thank you, Anima. Thank you, Ted. And to the audience, if you got to this point, thank you for staying with me. And if you liked listening to us ramble and rant, please like and subscribe, comment down below, let us know what you're thinking. Tell us how wrong we are or how right we are. And I'll see you next time.
Watch Star Trek.
Live long and
Okay.
prosper.
And then cut to the just some Trekkies opinion.
Just some Trekkies opinion.
And that's how we close. There's some Trekkies opinion.
Just some Trekkies opinion.